The World Food Program is really delighted for India's offer of partnership with the World Food Program to help the people of Afghanistan. In fact, I have participated in similar types of partnership in Yemen when I was previously posted. So it is a great news, and it is a great news that India joining hand to help Afghani uh, population, and India showing its humanity, and in the crisis time where Afghanistan is faced by a serious food crisis. Almost half of the population are hungry, and therefore any support and all the support countries can provide would be a big help. And of course, India's support is absolutely warmly welcome. And in WFP, we want to see this only as a beginning, and want to have an increased cooperation between the World Food Program and India in Afghanistan, in other countries in crisis. In fact, there is so much food insecurity in the world, and India has been blessed in many ways with plenty of food and good harvest, abundance, major transformation in its production. So absolutely delighted of this partnership. Is for a start of the amount which you referred. It's for about 10,000 tons. And India is going to be delivering this in Kandahar. Is it Kandahar? Yes, Kandahar. And from there, WFP, with its own structure and manpower and logistics setup it has, will take it to the farthest point in and within Afghanistan. In fact, WFP currently has about 176 trucks of its own. It's going to increase over 200 units, and it has close to 580 staff in Afghanistan. So, because what we make sure in WFP is the food is reaches to the people who need it. And this is what we ensure in our program and operations across the world. Aid follow humanitarian principle, which is making it deliver to the needy without any discrimination, non-interference, and in a way that there is a full accessibility. The good thing is WFP has been in the country for many years through the thick and thin periods, and we have proven ourselves as a humanitarian, and we are trusted partners across the world, and everybody knows WFP when it's involved. It makes sure everyone needing receives it, and furthermore, WFP also ensures to its donors that there is a full accountability of the aid WFP receives, and reported and accounted. So therefore, we have a full mechanism through the network of staff, the partner civil society organization, and trucks, the logistics mechanism. So we're expert in that. So we make sure it happens, and we're trusted by everybody. First of all, it also has been a COVID period, sadly, and we had a third wave of COVID. Sadly, that has had some element of delays in formalizing these, and also the transiting part. I guess India was negotiating the transiting, Maybe there was some lead time into that process. But the moment we signed off on our cooperation, we have laid down everything. My colleagues in the country have worked out, and we are ready to sort of take the food to the mouth of those who really need it. We take a pride in our commitment to save lives and improve lives, and it is a huge challenge. The overall need for humanitarian aid, the food component for WFP, is about $220 million per month. So it's over $2 billion operation. It's, at the moment, there is 7 million people are being covered. And the target is to reach 22 million. Imagine the scale we are looking at it. And sadly, a huge number of people are considered extremely vulnerable and verged of famine. And we as a humanity cannot afford to do that. And therefore, India joining in with WFP, supporting Afghan is absolutely a welcome. And it also sets the principle of Vasudeva Kutumba of India. We have had various level of sporadic types of engagement, I must say this. But there is a room for a huge partnership, and a very strong partnership. For India, spreading the whole message of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve, and the principle of Vasudeva Kutumbakam in practice. And in areas where India has really transformed itself and is capable of, especially during the current COVID time, the people affected by hunger and food insecurity have doubled from 130 million to 270 million. There is still 811 million people who do not have enough to eat, sadly, globally. Unfortunately, the climate change has affected lots of people in terms of food insecurity. The war and conflict which is taking place in a number of countries have continued, and people displacement have happened, continue to their inability to be in their own land and etc. So there has been this unfortunate situation globally, and also because of COVID, the price rise, the job loss, and missing economic opportunities. But I would also say that in this context, the example India has set in responding to COVID has been fantastic. For the last 2 years, people have been benefiting with 5 kilos until the end of March now of rice or wheat, and previous year, including pulses. These have been a lifeline in addition to the previously existing one of the best food safety net programs, such as the public distribution, the midday meal, and integrated child development program. So India has the example and shown to the world what can be done and what should be done. And hopefully, I believe that with this partnership, through humanitarian engagement, India will be also transferring this knowledge as a part of South-South cooperation and support improves people's life. And at the end of the day, hunger is such a basic thing, and we really need to get to zero on the hunger.
Your take on this aspect?
Well, I wrote that op-ed in Hindu a few months back precisely to share this good lesson and to demonstrate that um, how one should address these type of food concern of food insecurity and nutrition issues, and the in terms of policy, in terms of activities, in terms of outreach. The in terms of policy, India has this food security law, which makes it obligatory to provide these support program. This is number one. Number two, during the crisis time like this time, India used those existing programs to launch under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, these new program for 2 years to top up, because people had lost jobs and they had no source of income, and that time protecting and supporting citizens with the basic thing, food. I mean, great example. So therefore, it was great. Furthermore, there were, although lockdown, other things, there were priority put on delivery of food, farm produced, harvest, marketing, and everything. So those moved smoothly, and furthermore, I was looking at some of these statistics. You will see in my op-ed, the railway doubled its capacity. In fact, the communities, institutions join in to provide cooked meal. There were volunteers serving thousands of hot meals. Some of these states, dropped the restriction on ration cards, and everybody who needed it were given. There were provision of cash support. There were kitchen, lunch, and there were public announcement to say that if anyone doesn't have food or need food, reach out these numbers. Very impressive. Frankly, if I say too much about what I have seen and what India is doing, it sounds like patronage, but it's not patronage. I'm just stating the facts. India has embraced technology in every front, and that is really a fantastic and great example. I mean, the reference I made about farmers bringing the food and receiving cash within 48 hours, it happens because of technology. And it happens because technology, the farmers receive a SMS saying, bring your supplies. Now, this public distribution program, which provides food ration to 800 million people, they have a biometric record at these fair price shops, either the thumb or the iris. I have witnessed it in many fair price shops. The people come, there is no card, they come, they put their thumb on this, and then in this little box, their detail comes in, and then they are given the food immediately. So what it does? Paperless, bogus recipients are dropped, and there is a technology to confirm an account what has been received, and so the more recent is one nation one card system, which India has introduced. Anyone from any part of India going to the other parts and carrying ration card, they can benefit from that. So I think there is a full advantage being taken of the technology. I think that is the right thing to do. And I would tell you one more thing. We have been always part of this process. 2008 or so, we piloted this biometric system in Odisha. That has become a national level. We have also now introduced a system, we are still trying, a grain ATM, which is dispensing you grain, same way as other biometric system. You go to that ATM, you put your thumb, and then depending on your entitlement, you draw the grain.
So it's something like a food ATM?
Absolutely, we call it Annapurti. We have given an Indian name for it, and it's done in joint partnership with the Department of Food. We have now in Haryana, Haryana, UP, and Odisha, and we are planning to introduce in number of other states, but we are improvising the speed of drawing down the quantities and creating it independent. So a laborer cannot go during daytime because he is a wage earner. Can go in the evening or morning and take his or her ration.